doors closed. The production has started.
Oh, he started it already. I just cut you off. Fuck you. Scuffed.
I held my breath for a second there. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Storyworks podcast. I am your host, Zach Gosen.
I'm your co-host, Andrew Hall.
We are here to talk about the things that have kept me up at night for the past 2 nights in a row. From the very mind of David Cronenberg himself, we are talking about Infinity Pool.
It's his son. It's Brandon.
You do not live in the shadow of your father, Brandon. I promise.
It's his son. It's his son. It's Brandon Cronenberg.
You're your own person, Brandon, and I am ashamed that I mentioned your father for your work. We are talking about Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool, as well as his 2020 film Possessor.
Yes.
Man,
these movies were insane.
wow, oh wow. What a trip in the fucking theater. We got to see
Oh my
Infinity
God.
Pool on the big screen.
Yeah. That was intense.
I don't know, man. Should I? I'm just gonna say trigger warning right now.
Yeah,
like,
we should go ahead and drop some trigger warnings.
Excuse me. This is some wild shit. This is some visceral shit.
Very graphic.
Very graphic.
Very sexual.
Very sexual.
Very psychological.
Very psychological.
So yeah, just like trigger warning if any of that makes you squeamish.
Yeah. It was an interesting experience. I didn't know how much to expect. You know, we were kind of keeping an eye on this movie when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
You had told
I
me.
saw a trailer for it and I was pretty intrigued.
Yeah.
So I started kind of keeping an eye on it. I was like, oh man, Alexander Skarsgård, this is what he's doing after the Northman.
Right?
And then, you know,
What a role to jump into right after the Northman, man.
yeah, it's Mia Goth, you know, hot off the trails of X and Pearl.
Yeah.
And straight back into the mines to make Maxine.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely a horror icon of the past 2 years. Mia Goth has really shown herself in the past 2 years.
She is a scream queen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I've said it before, but her personality and her voice when you see her in interviews is so calming. Her voice is like so high pitched.
Yep.
And these characters she is playing, they're just insane.
Unhinged.
Unhinged as fuck. And she loves playing that type of person. It's great. Great.
Man.
Skarsgård was really good in it.
Yeah, dude. He was excellent, but I mean, he's Alexander Skarsgård, so
Exactly.
you get what you pay for with him.
Yeah. It's really funny. He was talking about receiving the script and the offer while he was filming The Northman.
Yeah.
So midst being freezing ass cold and in those like hard filming conditions.
Yeah, he said that he was intrigued by it and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to take this movie because it's going to be, you know, on a nice resort,
Nice warm
resort,
yeah.
and you're having a great time being pampered and stuff."
Not freezing my fucking cheeks off.
Yeah. And then he was like, and then, you know, there's a scene where I'm fighting like a naked version of myself. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Shit gets wild.
It's intense, man.
I think it's safe to say this is Mia Goth's most unhinged performance.
Hi.
What's going on, bud?
Which one?
We're learning about audio live. What's up? How does this sound?
Thank you, King.
Give it up for 626 Sound. Oh, man.
But yeah, anyway, this movie's crazy.
Yeah. absolutely bad shit. Andrew had to get up 2 times.
Twice. I was like, whoo.
You're like, my man, can you hold my popcorn for a second?
Yeah, I was like, had to go outside, find like just like a bench.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just sit and like collect myself.
Yeah, dude. Totally fair too. I had to look away, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And yeah, but I loved the movie. It was
so good.
It was great.
It's just it's so visceral.
Yeah.
That experience and being in the theater, just that dark room.
Yes, the theater experience. Like, it was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that a movie was able to make me feel that.
Yeah, right.
But it's not like a great feeling to feel.
Yeah.
In the moment. The movie theater experience like magnifies it.
Right, you're like, "Oh my god."
Had we been watching it like at home or something,
yeah.
I probably would have been fine.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's definitely exaggerated because your senses get heightened.
Oh, absolutely.
And the sounds are just booming at you, and there's just some like really intense imagery and sound in this movie.
Is.
So totally understandable, man, for sure. Kind of crazy how this thing was like conceptualized. I guess he's been sitting on it for a while. Seemingly, it's a crazy script, so that's probably pretty hard
to sell.
Yeah.
Shout out to Neon Pictures or Productions or what, I don't know their full name, but
Neon. They did both of those. They did Possessor as well, and I think those are the first 2 Neon films I've seen as well.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen any other ones.
It made me think of like a more unhinged A24, like
very much so.
Fucking wild. So I guess the idea started with him just playing with the idea of a short that he had where somebody was watching themselves get executed. Which, if you've seen trailers, you know that's kind of like what's going on in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, he took an experience that he had on a resort where there were actually like barbed wire fences.
Yeah. I've been to, I've gone on vacation.
Yeah.
Because I've been lucky.
In this economy?
Not in this economy.
Oh, yeah.
Like years ago.
Yeah, okay.
But I've been to places where it's like, don't leave like the resort strip.
Right.
Or like don't leave the resort, period.
Yeah. Were there like big fences, like barbed wire fences and shit?
No, I don't remember like barbed wire fences, but it was definitely not like that like crazy, but it was definitely like, if you go off the resort, make sure you're like going like with a group of people or whatever, like in one of like the like packages that they're offering. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a tourist, on Tuesday we're going out to
this restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Or like, this night we're going out to this town where they have a bunch of street vendors and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like, don't go out on your own.
Don't. Because we're not coming after you.
No.
Yeah, so I like how this movie just kind of played with those 2 beginnings, and he just kind of smashed that shit together, and here we are.
Yeah.
The idea of doubles, and I like that aspect of it, how it starts to get kind of confusing, like who's
who.
Who.
Identity crisis.
Exactly. I really like that.
I just realized that another Neon movie, by the way, is Parasite.
Oh, Neon produced Parasite.
Yeah.
That is cool. Hell yeah.
Still haven't seen Parasite.
Yeah, we have to. I love Bong Joon-ho, man. I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got to it. So yeah, the cinematography is good, very scary.
I loved
very horrific.
the tilts.
very off kilter from the start. He's
and they just keep doing it throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's like, you're not supposed to be comfortable in this space at all.
It builds tension instantly.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed that. He likes to get real close to the violence, man.
Yeah, he does.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I had to look away for a second there.
That was the first moment where I was like, I need a second.
Yeah, so, you had said that, like somebody said one thing to know about this movie before you go in. Lots of fluids.
There's lots of fluids, and also there are like the movie. I think it was the first movie that I've ever seen that started with one of these. It had a warning pop up, like a seizure warning.
Yes.
To say like, hey, there are scenes with strobing lights in this movie. So if you're, epileptic or, prone to seizures, be aware of that.
For sure.
Maybe don't watch this one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's a good warning.
I was like, that's actually a really good thing to put at the start of your movie.
For sure, for sure.
Because it sucks when you're watching a movie and then all of a sudden it just hits you with like...
Yeah. And you're like, okay, trying to process this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's good that they put that warning out because it gets fucky. The filming, the filming and the editing that they use,
absolutely,
during the cloning process, especially, is fucking whack.
Yeah. But yeah, there's crazy visuals in that regard. Mm-hmm. There's lots of fluids, lots of blood, lots of cum. Not a lot of cum, but there's some cum, some semen.
Oh God.
And then there's this red gel substance.
It's goop.
It's like goopy. You step into it. And it's all gross.
It's all bad. It's a dark red goop.
And then once you get inside of it, they pour in black goop.
Yeah. You also got a thing on your mouth that's like...
Yeah, your mouth is held open.
Yeah, he'd be like... we gotta throw a picture of...
Yeah,
he looks fucking silly.
I'll try to find one to put right there or something.
I was trying to the moment was tense, but I was also trying not to fucking laugh.
He's so just
his eyes are wide open.
Yeah, and he's just looking at people.
Yeah, dude.
And the lady's like, in, please.
In. Come on.
And then he goes in and she goes, make this.
Yeah, dude. And then that's even funnier because he's sitting there like...
Yeah, he's just...
Oh my God. I mean, it did capture... I mean, it was scary for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Past that point, it immediately got frightening.
Yeah.
It was just initially kind of funny. It was just a little bit... It just gave me a little laugh. Just gave me a little giggle.
Your one moment of brevity in this movie?
Yes. And then it's just everything is bad. Everything is fucked. Everything sucks.
Fred Durst, where are you?
Any more notable things before we kind of hop in and discuss how fucking nuts this shit is?
Just I thought pretty much all of the aspects of this movie were pretty well done. The cinematography, like we already mentioned, was sick. The score was really good.
Yes, very, very on the edge of your seat.
Very tense and unsettling. The editing is very, very well.
Yeah,
as well. The acting is just crazy.
For sure, dude.
We already said Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth, but even the other actors too.
Yeah. There's a
what's her name? Cleopatra
Coleman, yeah.
She was really good as Alexander Skarsgård's wife.
Yeah, she played the one person that was really
the straight man to this whole routine that they're doing. The dude that played what's his name? Elaine.
Yeah.
He was really cool. I liked him. I don't know his name, but he did a really good job. All those, the group like
Yeah.
the zombies as they call themselves.
Right. Yeah.
They were all really good, even though they were all pretty like kind of caricature-y in a
For
way.
sure. Most definitely. Yeah.
But I still really liked all of them. Like their
Yeah.
performances were really good.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, great performances all around. I just Mia Goth, I think, comes out on
She
top.
steals the show, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Her and Skarsgård really are just shining. But I think she's got that one step up above him, kind of being
Yeah. I mean,
in
she's
control.
I was
She
gonna
feels
say
like she's in
she's
control.
yes.
It's a crazy dynamic, man, and we're gonna get into it.
Yes. So now here it is. Your spoiler warning. I don't know if this movie is still in theaters. However, it's available to own digitally now already.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty
I
quick.
saw a trailer, like a commercial for it that was like own it on digital today, and I was like,
Maybe they didn't expect too hard of a theater run with how
it was a pretty limited theater run.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't played at like every theater.
We couldn't go to our local theater.
No,
to see it.
They would not air that in Barberton,
it's
dude.
a little too much, they say. A little too cray cray.
But yeah, go check this movie out. It's crazy. And also, I mean, if you're in a Brandon Cronenberg mood, we're gonna talk about it later. You don't have to completely close out the podcast. You can just skip ahead a little bit. Because we're going to be talking about Brandon Cronenberg's movie that came out before this, Possessor.
Also fucking bonkers.
And it's not on HBO Max.
It's true, dude. It's true. We've done it.
We've broken the cycle. We must be better.
We must do better.
Yeah, no, Possessor's on Hulu, and it's uncut.
Yeah, it is.
And it is. So yeah, go watch Possessor too, because we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on. Anyway, here's your spoiler warning. Okay, bye. It's gone now. It's a spoiler warning and it's gone.
See you later, bucko. All right, man. Let's get into this.
All right.
Where to start? How did you feel about Skarsgård's character up until like crazy shit started happening? I was trying to get a grasp on him, but he just seemed maybe distant is the word.
Yeah, he seems like somebody who is just kind of like riding on his coattails a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's an author, but he wrote one book 6 years ago and he hasn't written another one since.
Yeah.
He says he has writer's block, but it seems like he's just taking a vacation.
Yeah.
We
just got to be here another week. Come on.
He married the daughter of his publisher, so he's like got money now.
Yup. And I'm sure there's pressure to write this book. They don't really talk about the relationship too much, other than the fact that the father hates Skarsgård's character.
He hates it. The father hates writers in general. Because he's a publisher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so his daughter did the one thing that he hated and married the first writer that she met.
Yep.
And they like make that a point in the movie to where like he just kinda is emasculated constantly. Like when he meets Mia Goth's character and Elaine. What's Mia Goth's character's name?
Oh shit. She is Gabby.
Gabby, that's right. So when he meets Gabby and Elaine, and they're all talking, and Gabby's like, "Oh, you wrote a book. I loved it. Oh,
I loved your book.
I loved your book, James." Elaine is like, "So what do you do for money?"
Yeah.
And his wife is like, "Oh, well, he married rich." And then like later on, they like keep making fun of him, like saying that like he doesn't really have talent. Like Elaine is like, "So like why are you with him?"
Yeah, dude.
And it's like he just isn't, doing anything with his life really.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's married, rich, and he has money, he's just kind of existing.
Coasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe that I got from his character at the beginning.
Okay, gotcha. And it feels like he's just like dissociating, dude.
Yeah.
Hard. And you kind of get that feeling because a lot of like Cronenberg is like he does the opposite of what you would think. When you see somebody looking towards one frame, there's typically an amount of lead room for them to be looking with their eyeline into a direction.
Yeah.
He's got them with the frame right here, and there's so much backspace.
Yeah.
And that just makes me think that they're constantly distant and they're constantly,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe just like
removed.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So really interesting. I mean, he does that a lot. Like I don't think there's ever, I mean, there's symmetrical shots, but if there's like a close up, it's always that distant feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Like we said, the cinematography in this movie is top notch.
Very good. We've seen a couple good movies recently where, they're really speaking that language with the camera.
Yes.
It's not just, get this medium shot out of the way, get this close up out of the way.
You're
There's
telling
real intention.
You're telling stories with the shots you're getting. It's not just using the camera as a camera.
Exactly. Yeah.
It becomes a storytelling device.
Yeah, most definitely. So like I think of Knock at the Cabin, how he loved those close ups and how he liked to get so close.
Yeah.
So does Cronenberg.
Yeah.
He gets closer.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to see your pores as this knife goes into you. Like, it's fucking nuts.
The stomach scene with like the shirt with like the cutout.
Yeah, dude. That gave me some fucking like Midsummer vibes. How that robe looked.
Yeah.
That they get executed in, especially with
it's like a very traditional robe, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
Skarsgård still has a six pack from Northman.
He can't get rid of it.
He can't get rid of it.
It's permanently there.
It's just here now. Come on, check it out. It's about to get mutilated.
Here's a 13-year-old boy with a knife.
What a scary scene. So it's like, yeah, the crime happens. Before that, the film immediately sets up Mia Goth's superiority to Alexander Skarsgård. And let me tell you, dude, he sits on these scenes. He sits on them.
So yeah, they meet M and James. They meet Gabby and Elaine, and then they go to dinner together, and then one day they're like, oh well, we're gonna pay one of the employees.
We're rich. We can do whatever we want.
And we're gonna rent his car. And we're gonna go out. We know this little cove area where we can, get some sun, swim in some water, drink some beer, stuff that we can't do in the resort.
Yeah, for real. Let's leave the barbed wired fence.
So they do that.
Alexander Skarsgård's character is like, yeah, let's go.
He's like, let's go. And M is like,
we don't know these people.
Yeah.
He's like, she likes my book.
And she literally says like, I'm glad you have your fan club now. Or like, I'm glad you found your fan club.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, me too, dude.
So then, they go to this like beach cove and they just get fucking wasted. Absolutely plastered. And then they get ready to leave, and Elaine is like, oh, I am so fucking drunk. And James is just like, well, I'll drive then. It's fine.
Hold on, we're skipping over.
Oh,
very
shit.
important scene. It's essential.
Oh, how could I forget this scene? It's almost like I've mentally blocked it.
It's like, yeah, it's almost as if my trauma response has just removed it from my head. No, it's the power dynamic.
It's true. It's a critical scene to the plot. So anyway, they're actually hanging out, getting drunk, and James is like, "Oh man, I gotta go take a fucking piss."
The pop on that piss.
I gotta go, drain the lizard, if you will.
Drain that main vein. Oh, that's so
bad. And so he goes to do that, and while he's doing that, who appears behind him but Gabby, Mia Goth herself.
Gabby. Her head just like comes around his shoulder, dude.
And then there's no polite way to put it. She jerks him off.
Oh, I'm about to jerk off.
Oh, fuck. I hope I don't jack off.
Oh, my God. It's like 30 seconds.
Dude, no. It's
like maybe a minute.
I was going to say, it's got to be more than 30 seconds. There's no way.
Dude, he's just like, he's dead ass just taking a piss.
He's just standing there. And then you just see her moving.
And he's getting brain blasted.
Yeah. And then he just goes, and then you just see the ground.
Oh.
And this movie falls into a short list of films where the main guy comes and you see the cum.
We got that. We got The Lighthouse, and we got The Green Knight, from what I know.
Yeah.
So Skarsgård, we're shipping you an award, a plaque, titled Man Who Comes on Screen. You made it.
You've done it. You're in the big leagues now, kid.
Yeah, no, he read he saw that he was going to be in a nice warm space for the script, and then he opened the script and got 5 pages in. And was like, oh.
And it was like, oh, I get jerked off.
I'm getting jerked.
I would like to become an executive producer for this film.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, sign me a check.
Here's $50,000.
Oh my god, dude. Fucking hilarious.
But yeah, so that happens. That's critical to the plot. And then he comes and then she just walks away.
No words.
No
nothing.
words are spoken.
It's like the biggest power move.
And then he comes back and he's like stun locked for the rest of the night. And then he's like, yeah, I'll drive the car home.
He's still damaged from that nut, dude. He can't
like
focus.
It is the most intense post-nut clarity.
Oh my god, dude. Stop. It's so bad. And then Mia Goth cuddles up. Yeah. Gabby's character cuddles up with M in the back.
She gets in the back and it's just like,
this is terrible, dude.
It's insane. So yeah, then they start driving home. It's fine. Lights start going out. It's fine. Man walks out onto road. It's not fine.
Stay in the car.
Stay in the car. They instantly get out of the car.
Everybody gets out of the car.
Turns out they've hit and killed a man.
Yeah, dude.
And James and M are like, well, we got to call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabby, like, her switch, like, flips.
Yeah.
She's, like, instantly sober.
Yeah.
She's like, no, we can't call the cops. You need to get back in the car now. She looks at M and she's like, if we call the cops, they're going to just rape us forever. And they're going to kill them.
Like, this is they don't
do prisons here are not safe.
Yeah.
And she just she's like, everybody get back in the car now. We're leaving. Elaine is driving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they get back to the, resort. They like lie and say that they accidentally stumbled outside and they get let back in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning, knock, knock, knock.
Soldiers immediately.
Knock, knock. It's the fucking military police.
Oh my god.
You need to come with us.
And then you're like, okay, here it comes. It's about to be fucking. I mean, it felt like that when he hit the guy, but once they're bringing him in, everything's so cold.
Yes, the colors are so fucking
just like dull.
Blue.
Yeah.
M is like hyperventilating in the back seat of the car.
Yeah, no, they're not answering them. They're just plain face fucking driving there.
And then they get there,
I love how fast this scene goes. It's as disorienting as if you were Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Um,
You're just being, it's like you're so out of it as you're being like,
yeah.
knock, 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 get in the car. We're there.
And dude doesn't repeat himself when he's like explaining these crazy laws.
Yeah, he's like, so yeah, we have this tradition here in Latoka, where if you are convicted of murder, the penalty is execution by the firstborn son of the victim. And they're like, oh yeah, and if they have no firstborn sons, then the state carries it out. However,
Yeah.
he did have two sons, a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. So you'll be killed by the 13-year-old.
Dude, it's so fucked up.
And Alexander and James is just like, what?
Yeah. For real.
What? That can't be. And
he's
the
so
dude's
good.
like,
his facial expressions, his
yeah,
acting is just incredible.
and he's just
in
like,
these
nope,
scenes.
there's no way out of this. You're going to die. However, because, tourism is such a drastic part of our economy at this point, we've put in this law into effect where you can go through a doubling process. We make a double of you for like a significant sum of money.
Just a lot of money.
And it has your memories. And it stands in for you at your execution. And you also have to be present at the execution.
Non-negotiable.
You have to watch yourself get killed.
Jesus, man.
And he's like, what are you talking about? What? And the detective is just like, do you want to die?
Yeah, it's simple. Yeah.
And he's like, no. And he's like, okay, then sign this paper.
What the fuck else are you going to do, It's crazy.
And that's when we get the scene of him. He gets like the cap put on his head.
Yeah.
He gets the thing put in his mouth.
Uncomfortable process.
He gets told to go stand in the thing, like, make this.
Mm-hmm. That scene gets crazy.
And then
dude.
this is one of the flashing lights segments.
Yeah. This is where it gets like super experimental looking.
It's just the visuals that are shown are
so fast. Everything's merging together.
It's so disorienting. There's like a 3D model of a
Yeah.
person that is being constructed. We're getting like shots of James, shots of Gabby.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane.
You're just trying to decipher it the whole time, but really it's just like throwing so many things at you at once.
It is just, disorienting is like the best way to put it.
For sure. He wakes up, you get to see his double. It looks so fucking weird how they're in that red.
He wakes up and M's there and is like, hey, you woke up. They said the double was done. It's perfect. They're taking us to go see it now. And they go down and you just see the head sticking out of the red.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then he's just like
that part, that got me. Kayla jumped super hard on that.
They see him and M is just like, this is horrible.
No time to waste, time for execution.
And James is like, whoa, this is kind of cool.
James be like throughout the whole movie.
He's like, this is fucking sick.
This is a little wacky and I like it.
I get a little doubling in me.
I get a little kooky. Oh my god, dude.
And then we get from there we go straight into the execution.
Yeah, this scene was hard to watch, man. It was rough.
And it's just they're sat in the stands. But then also there's a James that is tied to this pole, like Attack of the Clones style.
Straight up, dude.
And he's just wearing like a tunic like robe thing.
Kinda like a gown, yeah.
Yeah. But except the stomach is cut out of it.
Just a nice little hole for poking.
And a soldier walks out with this 13-year-old boy, hands him a knife, and the kid just walks up.
Now this performance, dude, like how scared James is like, you just feel it in your fucking soul, man.
He is pleading, absolutely pleading for his life. And
dude, the knife is fucking big, dude.
Yeah.
It's big. And the kid's like not showing emotion at first, but then he starts walking towards him.
Once he gets close enough to him, he starts like, he gets a smile in his face. And yeah, he just starts
real close. He's like, I want this camera right up on it.
Just going to town. And James is screaming. It cuts to like them at the table or like back in the stands, and M is like hiding her face.
Yeah.
Like she can't see it. But James is just like, whoa.
That's kind of cool, dude. This is kind of sick.
He's like, whoa, this is actually really, really hot.
Look at me go out there. But dude, just how it's like
the kid's hand.
Yeah,
man.
And it's like a puddle, just a puddle.
Like I thought he was just gonna like get eventually, just his stomach would like fall out, like he'd be like disemboweled.
Right. That's kind of what I thought. Cuts. I was waiting for that because it was so much, dude.
And yeah,
isn't the blood like an interesting shade of red? It's like almost a kind of shade that I haven't really seen before.
It's very, very like red, like crimson red.
It was gross looking, man.
Yeah,
very, very nasty.
And yeah, the kid's hand is just absolutely like drenched up to like his forearm.
Yeah,
in blood. And then they get taken away. They're let go
until he dies. Like they're showing you every reaction he has to each stab.
Yeah,
and it's like it's the close up of it going in. His like heaving.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's
visceral.
It's rough. And that's when Andrew.
That was when I was like, I need to go get a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah,
just a tiny bit.
I was like, I gotta breathe a little bit. I'm gonna take a sip of my little Pepsi here. Shit was wild, man. And that just sets up how crazy this movie's about to fucking be. It's immediately Secret Society time after that.
Yeah, Gabby and Elaine are like, oh, by the way, actually, we've done this lots of times before.
Yeah. Can you trust me tonight? Let's go do something.
I want to introduce you to some people.
My God. And then, like, thematically, what would you say the movie really becomes? Because this is when it starts to shine what it is. It's kind of like, it's just like the no consequences.
Yeah, these people, like, they're introduced as, like, zombies.
Yeah.
That's how they, like, describe themselves. And they're all people who have gone through the doubling process and watched themselves be killed.
Yeah.
And it's, like, removed empathy for them.
Right.
Like, it's like they, like, when that happened, like, a part of them, like, died.
For sure. I mean, they're not even almost normal. It's fucking crazy.
They just don't. There's no consequences to anything anymore. No. If they get arrested, they just have a double made.
Everything they're there on that island to do is for their own fucked up personal pleasure.
Yep. And it's like a commentary on like the rich.
Yeah, for
sure.
You have enough money, double.
Yeah, if you're rich enough,
There's an ATM right in the building.
Dude, the fucking ATM.
Yeah, dude. Take out as much as you need.
But yeah, like it just removes any sense of worry. So like you just become hedonistic, fucking
straight up. They're keeping people like as hostage.
Yeah,
for fucking shits and giggles.
They're like, murdering people. Let's go break into the resort manager's home because he is the one who told the cops what room you were in.
Yeah, dude.
And they break into his home and they fucking steal all these masks, these like
Now that, yeah.
ancestral like tribal masks.
Great production design on those things.
And then, they wear those masks, and it works for James even more than like the other ones because it helps him,
detach.
Conceal his humanity. He's able to,
Because like it's weird where he fits in with this group.
Because it's like he wants to fit in with them.
Yeah.
But he has empathy.
Right, exactly.
He wants but he's also intrigued by the doubling process.
Yeah, and he like I don't know, like maybe it's just like this streak of boredom. He hasn't been able to write, but he's still living this rich life.
Yeah.
And maybe that's this inspiration coming through to him by doing this shit.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because, the line starts to thin between who's doing what for what purpose as the movie progresses.
Very much so.
They're all having a good old laugh together for a second, but then they really start
and then
to
it
fuck
turns
with
out
James.
Who they're really laughing at.
Yeah. Dude, the scene where they say that they got the detective in there, they have him beating on him, and he's snuffing this fucking ginger root.
The drug.
Yeah, and they burn this fucking root,
and
it's like a hallucinogen.
And then they do, this is the other flashing light scene.
My God, yeah.
And it has a lot of naked Mia Goth.
I swear to God, this was 3 minutes long.
It was long, dude, and it's just an orgy.
It got real fucking
James
rough.
It's Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth fucking while Gabby's husband is sitting at the foot of the bed, jerking off.
He's hunched over like a fucking animal.
It's crazy.
That shocked me. Like I didn't think it was going to turn into that. I didn't know.
And then it just it devolves into like a full on orgy. Everybody's involved now.
Like this is his first time doing this drug, and he's like probably meeting God in his mind.
Yeah.
And then
ego death and everything.
Yeah, and then fucking Gabby just hops on his dick while he's fighting God in his mind. God. And then everything happens. We get some fucking weird imagery. They're wearing their masks.
Yeah. It turns out that dude, the cop they were beating up, isn't a cop. Turns out, it's you.
Yeah, so they have him beating on the cop with a bag over his head.
Oh, well, we didn't even talk about the other time that they get arrested.
Yeah, who do they... Is that the resort owner still?
Yeah, because that's after they beat up the resort owner and everything. They get arrested again, and they all go through the doubling process, but we don't see it this time, which shows them all hanging out in like the holding cell room.
Yeah.
And they're just like having discussions about life, like nothing has happened. And then the cops come in and they're
complaining about the conditions of the waiting room.
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting for so long.
The cops
like they're at a hotel.
Yeah. The cops like, okay, well, we're gonna make an example of you guys, and just takes them down to the execution chamber and slits their throats. And everybody's like freaking out. And then it cuts to the stands and everybody's in the stands. And James is like, woo!
Yeah. They're all just laughing, watching themselves be fucking murdered.
So that happens, and then they come up to him and they're like, "Hey, we got the cop that was working on your case.
Yeah,
let's beat the fuck out of him."
Mm-hmm.
And then they take the mask off after James beats the shit out of him because they put like a bag over his head, and it's revealed that it's another double of James.
And this is where it gets like, you've seen him wake up, and you're like, he's struggling with who he is.
Yeah.
Like, are you the double? Are you not? Like, what happened?
They literally ask him, they're like, have you ever felt like they got the wrong you?
Yeah, dude.
And so he like leaves, goes back to his hotel room. Gabby's trying to get in. They're banging on the door. They're outside singing a song to him.
I was going to say that part is so eerie because it just like pans over to the window and they're all like just
He tries to leave
swaying.
The next day and gets on that bus, and then they fucking pull up on him.
Yeah.
He's on the bus trying to leave early, and they pull up and just start shooting at the bus.
Yeah, dude.
And make James come out.
These fuckers stop the bus.
Yeah. They pull in front of it, and they're like,
God,
give us James. And then they make him fucking walk down the road in front of their car. They're
And
like, you
he's
can't
just like,
escape us. Mia Goth is like laughing at him at this point. She's like, yeah, I never read your book.
she's got a bottle of wine too.
Yeah, eating chicken wings.
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah, I never read your book. It's shitty. You suck, dick.
And she's literally laughing at him. She
Mm-hmm.
reads a review
Yeah.
about the book to him before he tries to like, and this is where the power struggle really begins, and he just keeps getting put back in his place.
Yeah.
By this group of people. He tries to get the gun, like he actually tries to fight. And Gabby is laughing at him as he's like kind of attacking her.
And then he runs away because he doesn't get the gun.
Yeah, that made me so fucking mad.
And he makes it to this like farmhouse and passes out. And then we get like another kind of trippy sequence where he wakes up and he sees that it's we realize that this farmhouse that he's gone to is the farmhouse of the man that he ran over.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
And walking up to him in this bed that he's been placed in after collapsing is the son of the man.
And he's got a fucking scary smile on, dude.
And he just starts cutting him again. And then he wakes up.
Yeah. So now he's like, it feels like he's having delusions. Like, he's kind of going off the rails.
He wakes up and he walks outside, and suddenly lights flash on.
Yeah.
They're all there. And Gabby's like, all right, James, it's time for you to become one of us truly.
And at that point, you're like, what? Because they were just like hunting him down.
Yeah.
You're like, what is happening?
She's like, you need to undergo the final transformation. You need to kill the dog. And they're like, release the dog. And out on all fours comes Alexander Skarsgård with a collar and leash around his neck.
Fucking gimp collar, dude.
And he tries to kill James.
I just want to like give big props to Skarsgård for that dog performance.
Yeah.
Because like the way he made his
looks
shoulder
feral,
blades
dude.
look. Yeah. 100%.
It's crazy.
And that fight scene was just fucked up, man.
When James finally gets on top.
Yeah.
And just
I've never seen a punching scene that
punches his head
brutal.
in.
Yeah, dude. They took the Jared Leto fucking face punching fight scene, and doubled it to the point where he's punching mush.
Yes,
he's just punching.
It
red
is
mush,
so visceral.
And then to like this is like the climax of the film.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Then he resorts to infancy.
Yes, he reverts back to being an infant, and Mia Goth walks up to him, cradles him, takes the blood that's on his hand that he just used to cave in the face of his own body double, opens her shirt, wipes it on her boob, and then James nurses from it. What?
So Alexander Skarsgård has won 2 awards today. Now he shares an award with Justin Long on grown men who have been forced to breastfeed on screen.
Hey.
Sending you a plaque, bud. You're getting 2.
You're getting 2 of them.
Good job. Holy shit, dude.
Absolutely wild.
I can't imagine reading the script being, you know what I mean?
Insane.
Nuts.
And then from there, it cuts to the next day. And there's like, everybody's leaving. It's time to go back home.
Did you feel was that a jarring cut for you?
For sure.
Yeah. It was nuts.
I think it's meant to, because you're meant to be in like James's, again, like disoriented state.
I love that shot, him centered and there on each side, just talking like normal people.
Yeah, they're just like, oh,
people.
What are you going to do when you go back home? Oh, Elaine's got a few business contracts he's finishing up. I'll probably just keep trying to look for more commercials to work in. The one dude is talking about like writing his thesis or whatever.
The doctor.
Yeah. James is like, he's on the phone with M, who has like gone home at this point. She's been gone. And he's like, hey, I'm about to get on the plane. I'm coming home. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he gets off the phone and starts walking down with Gabby and Elaine, and Elaine shakes his hand and is like, "James, it was a pleasure to meet you. You're a true friend." And then Gabby's like, "Hope to see you again next year."
Oh my God. And he's just like,
jaded at that point. And
yeah.
then it cuts and he's no longer, like, the plane leaves. And
But he didn't.
And then it cuts to, he's sitting alone in the fucking airport terminal. And then it cuts to him at the fucking resort.
It's like pouring on the beach.
It's rain season at the resort, and he's just sitting in the rain, just dissociating more than I've ever seen anybody dissociate before.
Credits.
My man was so broken that he could not return to his normal life.
Yeah, dude. That's the movie.
That's it.
That is Infinity Pool. It's so good. It can be a hard watch.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Totally worth it. I mean, the just the idea of the story, the themes, how he utilizes the cinematography and editing to make these hyper crazy fucking sequences.
It was just phenomenal.
Very good. And we see this shine in Possessor too, our next subject.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, what would you rate Infinity Pool?
I'd probably give it, I don't know. I think I'm like at like a 9. I think about 9, maybe like 9.25.
9.25. Yeah. I'd sit it at an 8 personally.
I really liked it, even though there were scenes where I had to like walk out and like catch my breath for a minute. You really
respected that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really enjoyed. Yeah. Love Mia Goth and I love Alexander Skarsgård, man.
Yeah, and to see them come together in these performances, her fresh out of Pearl, him fresh out of The Northman,
very
and just
cool.
make this crazy ass movie. Great. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Left us wanting more, so much so that we
then we were like, hey, what other movies has this dude made?
Yeah, man. 2020 Possessor came out, and we picked it up on Hulu. Started that shit. How, like, what parallels do you draw between the two? I mean, do you want to have a non-spoiler discussion first, or just kind of go into Possessor? It's been out for
a few years. I think we could probably just go into it.
Jump into it.
You know, I can throw up another spoiler warning right here. So just go check it out. It's on Hulu. So, I mean, you can watch it and then come right back.
It's not super long.
Yeah, no, it's only like an hour 40.
Yeah, definitely doable.
So you can go watch that and then come back to right here, and then you can join us for our discussion.
Yeah.
As far as like similar themes go,
yeah,
definitely a sense of like identity crisis.
For sure. Yeah. Probably even more so in this movie.
Very much so, I think. It's no longer just am I me, it's I'm somebody that I'm not.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Shit. And he has the same kind of shots, like definitely like face hugging left frame with all the space in the back, because this character is really fucked up.
Dude, Voss,
this main character, Voss, is fucking... She's got problems,
She's an assassin.
And she's trying to bury them. Yeah, so the premise is really what also pulled me in really fast. It's just like,
hey, what if we made a movie about an assassin who completes her hits by possessing not her targets, but by possessing people and then using them to carry out the hit. Basically, she uses other human beings as her weapons.
Yeah. So it's like there's no tracing at all back to who did it.
They establish a narrative each time.
God. Yeah. And you have to act that out. She has to be this person for like a number
2
of days.
Like 2-3 days before they can carry out the hit.
I can't imagine. Like, that is so fucking stressful.
And it just has to destroy your sense of personality.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you lose the ability to like interact, and she does.
You definitely see that.
I mean, and they like, and every time she does it, she has to go through one of those like the personality exam.
Yeah.
Like, make sure that she's still her. It's just crazy.
I liked that idea too.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of like the film and like how the machinery works like has almost a 70s kind of
Yeah,
vibe of
it's
technology.
like a retro futurism vibe,
Really liked that. I thought that was a good choice instead of like
making it like
neon
super,
lights and like
yeah.
super just over dramatic. I liked the
Like the
simplicity of that.
therapist chairs and shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. I just love that premise. It shows you how fucked up that can be right off the bat. I mean, it
Yes.
starts out with a hit. The movie opens heavy.
Yeah. Starts out with a hit. It is, we're right back on our infinity pool bullshit
Yeah.
where she just goes to town on this man. And the worst part about it is that she's given a gun.
The gun, and I think the gun is like supposed to be part of the narrative too.
Yeah,
like,
she was supposed to shoot the target,
yeah,
but she instead grabs like a table knife and just slashes his throat and then like gets in on him and just stabs him like 48 times.
it's got to be more than even an infinity pool because she's quick, man. She's like, whap, in his white shirt.
She's
just
covered in blood. There's like a huge pool of blood under them.
Yeah.
And then she gets up and pulls the gun out and can't fucking kill herself. She can't do it.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's so you get pulled out of the person like before you.
She's like, pull me out. She says it.
Yeah.
And then can't do it.
That's so interesting to me. I still didn't really nail down why she can't do that to herself.
I guess maybe just like the mental strain of killing yourself would be too much, I guess. So she tries to do like suicide. She does a suicide by cop.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then her handler is like, why did you do that?
Yeah. She's like, don't fucking worry about it. Because like she's known.
She's like a top agent.
She's like a top agent for this thing. So it's like, I think I tried to draw the line that maybe it's like this family. She's trying to get re-involved with their family.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of taking her out of being fully committed.
Right. But even by the end of the movie, you figure out that she was just using the family as an excuse almost.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah.
She just completely, by the end, she severs it after a whole bunch of shit happens. But
yeah.
It's crazy, and she did a great performance, man. I've never seen her in anything, and it was
no,
really good.
Me either. Yeah, and then they go from that. She's like, okay, well, I want to get a little bit of time off to spend with my family. She goes to her family, and dude, that scene of her like standing outside, hitting her vape, rehearsing her lines.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what she does with her targets to try to get in their like emotional state.
Yeah, dude.
She's like, "Hi, darling. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. Oh, hi, darling." Just like trying to pinpoint down the right one.
Absolutely starving. Oh, yes, I'm absolutely
What's
starving.
that you've got there? What's that you've got there?
She can't separate who she's become with work.
Yeah.
And like this home life that she's trying to get back.
And she, she has sex with her ex-husband or her husband that she's separated from or whatever.
Boyfriend now?
Whatever they are, I don't know. But yeah.
She has a small moment with her son. Oh, I like this because the movie opens up with her character that she's possessed has like dreads or cornrows going back.
And she's like twirling her hair.
Yeah, as she's watching TV with her son. Almost in that kind of like fashion, as if you're going to braid it down like that. I found that to be really interesting. So she can't fully separate from who she's become sometimes.
Yeah,
and I really like that idea.
Very cool. And then they have people over for dinner, and then she's like, send them home, and then they fuck, and she's just like
dead inside, like yeah. She's just not there. You know what I mean?
And then the next day she's like, hey boss, sorry about yesterday. I don't think I was fully back yet. I'm ready for the next job.
Yeah, she was saying she wanted some time, and now she's like one day home. She's like, no. Yeah. I want to be killing people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she does. She gets, they're like, okay, this is a very important job. You're going to take over this guy who is dating Sean Bean's daughter.
Yep.
CEO of like this like tech company.
Yeah. And his job is fucked.
His job is to sort through people's personal data, i.e. webcams.
It's a lot, yeah.
And like see like, okay, you're on curtains today. You're on curtains and blinds. And you're flipping through all these different videos and you're like, okay, black curtains, white blinds, no curtains, no blinds.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like an actual fucking sex scene going on.
It's like 100%. Like you see everything. I know it's like an uncut movie, but
dudes hanging dick, chicks hanging boob, and they're slapping together, you know. And meanwhile, this dude, like, while she is possessing him, she's like entranced. She can't look away from it. And then the boss comes in and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, you just hear him like, yeah.
He's like, "Huh? Oh, sorry.
You're moving slow as fuck today, boss."
Yeah. But yeah, so that's his job, and he's dating the daughter of the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Who is Sean Bean, target. And he's the target. And the narrative is that like so like the dude, the guy you're possessing and his girlfriend are both like major cokeheads.
Yeah. Yep.
So the narrative is that you're going to become irritable over drugs, culminating in you killing Sean Bean and his daughter, and then yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to live as this target for like 3 days.
It's so fucked up. You got to get to know this person that you're planning to kill.
Yeah.
It's crazy spending time with those characters and seeing like Ava's character being like, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
You've gone strange on me." Like instantly.
Yeah. So it's really tense when you're trying to see, are they going to figure it out? They don't.
No.
But then also we're having Voss struggling with keeping her link.
Yeah.
Like, dude is resisting. His name is Colin in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole, and that scene where she gets put inside of him.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Just like it's another one of those crazy visual scenes like in Infinity Pool when he's being doubled.
Yes. Very
super trippy, super visual. You're watching like a wax sculpture like of herself melt away and be replaced with him.
And it's all happening inside a void. Like I loved that wax sequence.
Yeah.
It's like she melts away and then it's like they reversed him melting and it looks like he's being built up.
Yes. And she's like possessing him.
Yeah. Such a cool visual representation. And how it looks recalls back to how they made that sequence look when like Colin's character is like fighting back for control over the possession and they're like splitting almost.
Very much. Dude, no, yeah, the practical effects when that happens.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
They'll cut to scenes real quick when it's not him, it's her in his clothes, like holding a gun, and it's so effective. It's really good.
So yeah, the whole thing is, she's supposed to carry out this hit, and she, the night of this big party, he blows up in the party and gets kicked out, and then he goes back in later. Specifically, doesn't use the gun that she has until afterwards.
This is more violent than Infinity Pool gets.
A fireplace poker and just goes to town on Sean Bean.
I love the scene where she just walks in at first and sits down and is staring at him.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing here?" And then the gun comes out, and he's like, "Get the fuck out before I call the police."
Yeah, he's remaining very calm, which is crazy.
Yeah, and then he's just like, "You're not gonna do anything with that. I'm going to bed."
Yeah,
and he gets up to walk away, and that's when the fireplace poker comes out.
Catch him in his leg first, and then, dude, it gets so fucked up.
Poker through the mouth.
Does he start by just whacking his head?
I think he gets like a head whack in. He gets like
so much blood, dude.
The poke through the rip through the face. And then stuffed it down his throat.
And there's blood just gargling up through his mouth.
It's very violent.
I had to look away a lot on this. And then I peeked back and you just see it going into his eye.
And then she's twisting it too, and
this character's fucked up. She loves this shit. It's crazy.
And then the daughter walks in and is like, what has happened? And then she just picks up the gun and goes, blap,
so
blap,
fast.
Blap.
Oh my God.
And then walks up to her because she's still alive and blap. And then that's when we get like the first she tries to put the gun in her mouth to kill herself.
Yeah, and she can't.
And that's when we get the first section of like break.
Yeah.
Where Colin comes back in control.
Yeah. And can you imagine? I feel like he's seeing what's happening, but he's
just riding passenger.
It's like he's in the sunken place.
He's riding in the passenger seat
for sure. And he just watched all that. Like, oh my God,
it breaks a dude. He's instantly like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then he goes to his fucking the one chick's house and is like, I did it for us. I did it for us. I did it so I could be with you.
He's so fucked up too. Like it's like he doesn't even know what to say. It's like
she's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I just need a place to stay. And she's like, okay, you can stay here for 2 days.
And sometimes even in these scenes, I was trying to guess who was who.
Who's who?
Like if Colin was control or Voss was in control. And then it becomes pretty apparent once Voss kicks back in.
Yeah. She's like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower.
Yup.
And then Voss just fucking...
Bam. And then Colin... It's like they share hallucinations almost, to a degree, because Colin like sees in her mind exactly where she lives.
Yes. Well, and before
her
that,
family lives. I mean,
before that, he's back to sitting on the or Voss is just watching TV.
Yeah.
And then there's the knock at the door.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the one dude comes and he's like, "Hey, I was a plant.
Yeah.
I'm with the assassination company.
Right.
Your boss sent me here to make sure that your link is okay."
Yeah, because Colin pulls the fucking...
He pulls it out.
There's a brain link that goes into the possessed.
And yeah, he pulls it out and the dude comes in and he like hooks Colin back up and is like, okay, this is going to be a temporary fix. You don't have a lot of time before, you lose control again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then during that, dude, that scene where she's got the plug in and he's turning the dials and it keeps switching from like the room to like the red room. And Colin is there and he's just getting closer.
Oh my God.
Closer.
Yeah.
And then he climbs on the bed and just starts choking her.
It's so cool, dude.
Oh,
so
my
cool.
God. And then you get a whole bunch of cuts and then you wake up and he's dead. The tech guy.
Yep.
Voss's hands are bloody, Colin's hands are bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Colin's in control again. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know where you live.
I love this internal struggle between them. It's just really cool. It's just a cool fucking idea for a sci-fi flick.
Yes. Man. And then, that's when, like, shit pops off. That's when, like, it hits the fan. We get Colin shows up at the house. He meets the son. He's like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then the dad is like, come back inside. They show up he shows up at night, knocks on the door, and is like, hey, I'm looking for Voss. I'm her friend. And the dude's like, husband's like, yeah, no, she's not here. She's actually on work. And he goes to shut the door, and he like forces himself in. Yeah, he's like, where is she? Pulls the gun out. Like, tell me where she is. And then they get into a fight.
Yeah.
And
he ends up getting him down on the table, holding the gun at him.
Yeah.
I love that he's screaming at Voss. He's like, you see this, you fucking
He's
bitch?
like, I'll fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. And then, the husband dies.
Voss be like, fuck it. I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. She literally appears.
Oh.
And is like, go ahead. And puts her hand on the gun, too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then, he gets shot. And then blap out of nowhere as the kid appears. Or no, that's what it is. Colin tries to kill herself at that point again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And while they're struggling, the sun appears and just goes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then Colin instantly blap, 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 and just shoots the shit out of this kid. First it's one shot.
Yeah.
And then it like cuts to Voss
in his clothes again.
His clothes again as she like screams and then just unloads on her son and like blows the back of his head out.
I had to close my eyes. I was like, this is fucked.
And then you just hear the kid say, "Pull me out."
Yeah. That was wild.
And then Colin dies. She's pulled out, and it's revealed that her boss was inside her son.
Mm-hmm.
Possessed her son in order to get her out.
Fucking insane.
And then they do that personality test again at the end, and she's like lost her empathy.
Completely. So yeah, this like loss of empathy, dude, like definitely renowned through both films.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's crazy.
They just look at each other, and it's like they
Very
move
good.
forward.
Yep. Yeah.
Just like an Infinity Pool.
Yep.
These antagonistic people move forward like nothing happened.
It's crazy.
Not a fan of like happy endings.
No.
He's very real about how that shit works.
Very much so.
Two great movies, Possessor. I really like Infinity Pool. I think Possessor's concept, they're both so cool, but I really like Possessor's concept.
It's a really
internal
cool
mental battle between two people fighting over a body.
Yeah.
I'd probably give this one like an 8.5.
I think I'm right there with you on 8.5.
Yeah. Did you gave Infinity Pool?
I gave Infinity Pool a 9.
A little bit up on that one for you. I totally understand that.
Just crazy movies, both of them.
Very good. Very good. I definitely recommend if you like fucked up movies, because these are just, there's no other way to say it. They're fucked up.
They're not like, it's not like a family movie. You don't you don't watch this one with mom.
No. Lots of crazy fucking shit. Definitely check them out if you are into this kind of vibe.
Yeah, let us know what you guys thought of them.
For sure. Like, subscribe, comment, have some conversations with us.
Hit that motherfucking bell.
Hit it. We've got episodes coming out every Monday, and we are currently working on new content to get you guys possible gaming, possible board games.
Whoa.
If you're listening, what do you think?
That'd be cool.
Hit us up. I think so too, man. All right, guys. That was all we got for you today. Thanks so much for sticking around. I am Zac Gosen.
I'm Andrew Hall.
This was the Storyworks Podcast. Until next time.
Sayonara.